Hello everybody, I'm Devin Stevenson, President of Northwest Florida State College, and we want to welcome you to the very first edition of The President's Show. And today's really special. We're on the court of the Northwest Florida State College Arena here on the Niceville campus. And I have four coaches from our athletic teams along with our athletic director. And we're going to talk all athletics today on this particular show. So I think we just get right into it with Ramsey Ross, our athletic director. And I know, Ramsey, we had a very successful season last year. We brought back a national championship. Can you tell us about some of the accomplishments in addition to that on the academic side as well that we had last year and maybe what we're looking forward to this year?
Yes, sir. First of all, it's great to be with you today and very excited to be on the first edition of the new President's Show. I will say before we go into it that I can speak for all of our head coaches here on this panel that the success that you just mentioned would not be possible had it not be for the outstanding support that we get from not only yourself but from the Board of Trustees. So we sincerely appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
But we did have a fantastic year in 21-22. Obviously, you alluded to the national championship. All four sports were ranked in the national polls at one time, and they all had winning seasons. Certainly, we had won 2 conference championships, a state title, and a national title. And so, athletically, we hit all the marks that we strive for. Academically, I'm just as proud of that, if not more. I mean, we had a cumulative 3.30 GPA, which is outstanding.
Strong. And
100% graduation rate. So we are trying to check all the boxes here in athletics, and I think last year we did it, and we're certainly excited to see if we can accomplish those goals this year.
And you know, Ramsey, I think the one selling point for this institution is its outstanding academic programs and the fact that these coaches are just as committed to moving those students through that academic pipeline as they are through the athletic pipeline. And when I talk to parents, I tell them you won't find a better institution where we will help develop your child, your teen, whoever it may be, or where it's going to be safe for them and where we will launch them on. I like to say, you know, at Northwest Florida State College, we make people famous. We make people famous, and I think that's important. We never need to lose sight of the fact that we do improve people. We add value to them. We help them grow, we help them mature, and we help make them better citizens. And I never want to lose sight of that. I know our board doesn't. They like all the wins and the losses. And listen, I'm a competitor to the hilt. You all know that. When I call you and say, how did it go tonight? And then, you know, sometimes, Ramsey, I get a really good positive answer, and then sometimes, like Coach Lee will send me this politically correct answer.
That's right.
But nevertheless, I think what we do with the students is most important. We make a better person, a better citizen out of them. You know, I also believe that good leaders, whether it be coaches or ADs or presidents, have to be change leaders. We've often talked about leaders being transformational leaders, transactional leaders. Some are bureaucratic, some are autocratic, some are dictatorial. But I believe right now in this age that we live in, especially post-pandemic, we have to be change leaders and we have to be able to manage change. And boy, with the transfer portal, haven't we coaches seen the kind of changes that you all have had to manage this particular year? And I know, Ramsey, we lost a number of players. They moved on this year, and that's what we want to do. We want to launch them. I mean, we want to put air under their wings and move them forward. But at the same time, that creates major challenges for you. And I'd like for you just to talk about the impact of those changes and those challenges on our athletic program. Because a lot of the fans that will sit in these Raider Club seats this year and around this arena will not know the background, the behind-the-scenes stuff that's gone on to field and to court these teams. So could you talk a little bit about change and challenge?
It's the nature of the beast in athletics these days. I mean, you know, it's a transient nature of all sport right now. And so it's a tribute to our coaching staffs for being able to mold these individuals into a team in such a short period of time. That's a tremendous challenge. And so you look at our defending national championship team in men's basketball. We have one returner who we're very thankful to have, and he'll be on the show a little bit later.
Yeah.
But
Jalen's a great kid.
Yeah, absolutely. But
great young man.
Great young man.
You
yes,
might
sir.
not want me calling him a kid.
But it's a standard that our coaches set and a precedent, and then they also have to be able to adapt and and deal with the different personalities and understand what it takes to motivate certain individuals, and they do an outstanding job of that. And so I'm very proud of our staff for being able to do that. And I will say also, for our young and up-and-coming assistant coaches, I always tell them there's not a better level to learn in athletics than junior college, because you're having to deal with so many different dynamics. And so that's also a major tip to cap to them too.
You know, I've worked with athletics since the very first day on the job in higher education, but I've never seen the level, the quality of program like we have here, and the huge number of Division I coaches that are calling here, that are coming by here. Just yesterday we had D1 coaches in some of the practices, you know, just observing some of the scouts looking, and it's thrilling to see us to be able to do that. And what I've been impressed with is Andy and Doug and Bart and Steve and their connectivity with D1 coaches and other schools, because that does nothing but help our programs. Building relationships is what creates that network and what creates that connectivity ultimately. So this year we've had some change. As some people call it, we've had some churn in athletics. We have a new men's basketball coach. He's very familiar, and I'm going to talk with him just a little bit later on. We have new assistant coaches this year. I want you to talk just a little bit about those coaches and what that means to our season coming up, and how you think it's going to impact what our fans are going to see when they come into this arena and when they go to the softball and baseball fields this year.
Well, thankfully our programs have kind of recruited themselves and is a very big selling point for up-and-coming coaches who want to get involved. Every coaching staff has either made an addition or a change, and so I can't tell you how excited I am for the collection of coaches that we have in our athletic department this year. I think they're going to do amazing things. I also want to highlight the fact that we added Brady Peters, who is our athletic coordinator. He's got plenty of experience in athletics throughout his whole life. His uncle was actually the athletic coordinator here about 20 plus years ago, and so it's good to have him back. And so anyway, I really am excited about the staff that we have, and can't wait to see us start playing meaningful games and seeing those tangible results.
You think these guys can win?
I know they can.
Okay.
They wouldn't be here if they couldn't.
No, I know they can.
And they've proven it.
They're already showing signs of really some great brilliance here.
Absolutely.
It's exciting. So I think we should talk a little bit now about the Raider Club and what the mission of the Raider Club is and how people can get involved. I know if you come into this arena, there's something distinctive about the seating. If you look to my left here, you can see Raider seating. I mean, you see the athletic logos there. Those seats are padded. They're a little more comfortable to sit through 2 games. But generally, they're almost full. But we want more Raider Club members. And tell us about it. Tell us about the Raider Club.
Well, first of all, the Raider Club is the lifeblood of our athletic programs. I mean, you know, all the successes that we've had, the banners that we've hung, the championships that we've been able to achieve. I mean, all that would not be possible had it not be for the support of the Raider Club, which is essentially another word of saying our booster club. And really what I'm most proud about what the Raider Club does is it directly impacts the success of the student athlete. You know, these young men and women have opportunities to move on and matriculate and better their lives simply because of the Raider Club. And so it's an outstanding value. It's $125 for a single membership, and that gets you free admission throughout the entire athletic season. It's $300 for a family of 4. And all 4 of our sports, it's an outstanding family environment. It's great to take, it's great entertainment here locally to bring your family. We have an outstanding gift this year. I think I showed you yesterday.
My wife and I have already tried ours on.
It's a great pullover
They're really
similar
nice.
to this, and so that also is a benefit to being a Raider Club member. And but again, more than anything, it's supporting our student athletes and giving them an opportunity to continue to be successful. And so I really encourage you to join Raider Club. And again, we could not be as successful as we would had it not be for Raider Club.
As one of the top higher education institutions in Florida, we are indeed committed to helping each of you achieve your individual goals for education and career success. The best is always our standard.
Hello, everybody. We're going to turn to Coach Steve DeMayo now. Coach DeMayo is the head coach of our national championship men's basketball team. And we're really glad to have Steve. Steve, it's a privilege to have you on board today. I know you've returned after 3 years. You were in absentia for 3 years, and you and I stayed in touch almost every day during that time. You went to St. John's, leaving there, and then went to East Carolina as well. And I just want you to know we're glad you're back. Steve DeMayo is the most successful men's basketball coach that this institution has had. And you have a national championship under your belt. We're looking for another one, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So tell us why you chose to come back to Northwest Florida State.
You know, anyone who knows me knows that I love being here. My 6 years was an unbelievable experience. Working with Ramsey very closely, yourselves and the rest of the administration and the community. It's just a place that I really loved. And I think it was just the right opportunity at the right time in my life. Living in New York City for 2 years during the pandemic, you know, that would scare anyone back to Florida. But I just love being a junior college head coach. The impact you have on people's lives, which is kind of what you guys talked about earlier. Guys like Jalen McDaniel and other guys that you could help move on in their careers. They would be successful without us, but I really do believe me and my staff could give them that little extra edge to maybe get to a higher level or open some other doors that might not be there available for them. And same thing with my staff. I mean, we've got many staff members who one's a Division I head coach and junior college head coaches and, assistants at Division I programs. I mean, I really do love the opportunity to help people move forward in their lives, It's a passion of mine. It really is.
You come back after a national championship year. We're only bringing back one player from the national championship team. He's a great one.
He is.
But you've had to build this team literally from the ground up. So when people walk in here on November the 1st or 2nd, they're going to see an all-new team except for Jalen. They'll know Jalen, but the rest of the team be brand new. Talk to us about that and what your prospects are for this team and how they compare with past teams.
Our goals are threefold, and we don't talk about it very, very often. We talk about it early in the year. We want to win a conference championship. We want to win a state championship. We want to win a national championship. We'll talk about that early in the year. And after that, we just talk about being great every day, being everyday guys. I know it's kind of a cliche, but it's really the truth, because you can't just say, I want to be a champion. It's about your habits. What do you do every single day to put yourself in position to be successful? And we try to create great habits. And that's why I had a great staff. I really do. I think my staff can compete with any staff in the country at any level of Division I, Division II, Division III, junior college. I mean, these guys are outstanding, and they've got my back, and those guys work with these guys daily, and they really, really do a great job of helping these guys change some of their bad habits. And it's hard to help guys change bad habits after 18 to 20 years, however old they are. But we work on that daily, and I think we're heading in the right direction. Where will we go? I know everyone would say we're going to win another national championship, but like Ramsey, I don't know if Ramsey likes me or just wants to bust my chops. Because the first time he hired me after I followed Steve Forbes, I mean, he went to back-to-back national championship games. Then you guys call me after this guy Greg wins a national championship. So it's another challenge we got to face. But as long as we come out and compete every day, I would be really, really happy with the program, and I think we're going to do very well. And we put together a great schedule as well.
Well, thanks, Coach DeMayo. We're looking forward to the season. And now we're going to turn to Balt Walker, who won the national championship 2 years ago and even went to the national tournament this past year. Had much success launching athletes right into Division I scholarships. I mean, they're playing all over the country this year. But again, you've got a new roster. I'd like for you to talk about the new roster and what you are expecting out of that team this year, Coach Walker.
We have two returners that played last year on a state championship team and a conference championship team. So we have 12 new bodies, and there was a lot of work put into it this summer. The 6 week that we had with them, we had to implement pretty much everything that we do in our schemes and our philosophy, and what we're about here as a person. That's a big. You discussed that earlier. We talk about being great people here. And great things will happen to great people that work hard. But, I really like this team. We had our first jamboree this weekend, and we had about 50 Division I coaches watching our game. And so, the ladies, they did a great job of playing hard together and liking each other. One thing that we did get a lot of feedback was, man, your team really likes each other on the bench. They're always motivated and encouraging each other. So, it's a process that you got to go through to, sometimes you got to break them down to bring them back up. But I really enjoy watching this team. They're very talented. It might be the most talented team we've had here as far as 1 to 14 players. But we're still grinding, and it's part of the process being at JC.
What are we going to see this year on the court that's different than last year's team? What is that defining characteristic about this team?
You're going to see a lot of skill. Very skilled team. It can do a lot of special things. They do stuff in practice that, I've been doing this 28 years, and I've had a couple of plays throughout this practices that I'm turning around with our Raider Club members that are here come to watch us practice, and I'm in awe. It's a jaw dropper sometimes. And, they're pretty good players or they wouldn't be here, but we've had some players do some very special, extraordinary things this year. It's kind of, I'm interested in seeing how our fans are going to like to see how this team plays, women's basketball, but we're fast and we can get up and down the floor and we're very athletic. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Good. Well, thanks, Coach Walker. We appreciate you.
As one of the top higher education institutions in Florida, we are indeed committed to helping each of you achieve your individual goals for education and career success. The best is always our standard.
Coach Doug Martin has a national championship under his belt here at the college. He always builds outstanding teams, sends students to the major leagues. It's phenomenal to watch the work that you all do academically and athletically in the baseball program here. I know, Coach, that this year you only have a handful of returners that are actually coming back, but we know they're very, very talented. I've been keeping up with them. I'd like to know what you think are some of the biggest strengths of this year's team at Northwest Florida State College.
Well, first, thanks for the kind words and having me on the President's Show, the Dr. Stevenson President's Show. So it's great to be here. And we do have talent. We have talent every year. We play in the state of Florida, junior college baseball. So it's a talented state. Everybody has it. And the question is what are we going to do with it? How are we going to use it? How's it going to be played out on the field? Well, that's yet to be determined. We're in week 7 of our fall program. We have a lot to learn. These guys are learning how to practice. Are they going to learn the value of fundamentals, the importance of applying fundamentals to winning baseball? Will they be able to overcome adversity? There's a lot of questions to answer for sure. Working on those things, but talent-wise, yeah, we've got a talented group of guys. We'll see if they're able to answer all those other questions, and time will tell.
Really excited for both of you about the new LED lighting that we hope by the spring 23 that we'll be able to turn those things on and do a little night play here. These are state-of-the-art LED lights. We decided to take down the old, what were they, Mercury or Mercury halide or whatever. We took those down. We wanted a brighter light. We wanted something that would save money. And we also wanted to give you the opportunity to be able to expand your schedule and have some flexibility there. So real excited about the fact that we've invested and we're seeing a return. One of the returns is the huge splash that our players are making, not only on the Division I scene, but in professional ball. You think about last year, Dylan DeLucia was the most valuable player in the College World Series. Then you've got Reagan Burford, who both were on that national championship team. And then there's Jake Madden. Jake Madden was drafted 4th in the Major League Baseball draft. When you get at that point, people are looking this way. Can you talk just a little bit about those students and about what it means to have a program like this that elevates those students to that kind of experienced and to receive that kind of recognition?
Yeah, well, I'll just answer it like this: our program is built on three things, principles. When our guys, decided to become Raiders, and we talked to them about this before they make that decision. But we want to improve them as baseball players, obviously, and we're going to do that by the way that we practice, our habits that we create, the games that we play, the competition that we have. We're also going to try to improve them as students. And, one reason guys do choose to go to the junior college ranks is to help improve their academics. And then the other thing we want to do, the third thing we want to do is just try to improve them as just human beings. Get involved in the community, understand the value of helping others, be a server to others. Very important to our program. So when you mention those three things, and then you mention the players that you just talked about, Dylan Aleutian, Reagan Burford, Jake Madden, those are just examples of those three things that were accomplished while they were Raiders here. And, it's a beautiful sight. Turn on TV in the summer and watch our players perform at the highest level, whether if it's at, Division I college or turn on a major league game and see those guys out there performing at that level. You get a little bit of sense of pride. You get a little sense of pride that maybe you had just a small part of their development. And so, that kind of keeps us going motivated as coaches a little bit.
That's good. That's good. Again, you can go to the athletic website, which is nwfraiders.com, and look at the rosters for baseball, softball, basketball. You can see the coaching staff, the schedules, how to join the Raider Club and support the athletics, top flight athletics, right here in the Panhandle of Florida, in Niceville, Florida, at nwfraiders.com. I know for a fact that you have 11 returning players.
I do.
I mean, you are loaded up.
Well, out of all the teams here, I by far have the most experience coming back.
So, Andy Lee, you have no excuse.
I do. Now, are they national championship
there you
stuff
go.
coming? I mean,
Right.
but they are very quality kids that I'm very proud of so far this year.
So what are your priorities for that team of 11? I mean, 11 of them worked with you last year. They know who you are. They know your system. They know what you demand of them. I think it speaks well when 11 of them come back. You must be doing something right. But talk to me just a little bit about what you're expecting of them. What can we expect to see out of a team this year, and what are you going to do on a day-to-day basis to get them ready?
Yeah, well, the sophomores from day one just showed great leadership. From the time they arrive on campus, the way they help the new students, the way they move people in, the way they communicate with parents. And that leadership rolls over to our first team meeting, where they sit up front, they put their phones up, and it's just such a great example for the freshmen coming in. And then that rolls into the classroom, and then on the playing field. I mean, they get after it every day. And of the 8 starters I've got returning, they're pushing the freshmen. They're showing them how we hustle, how we work. And then I've got talented freshmen, too, that are hungry, and they want to play. And they're pushing them every day, and the competition within the team is great. You really need that every year. And I'm excited about this team. I've seen a lot more kids doing extra, showing up early, showing up late. And, they've got some unfinished business. They've got a lot of pride. They see these teams win national championships and, do all this, and they want to be that.
Sure.
They want to be up there with them. They want to be, stick their chest out and say,
Exactly.
I'm as good. I want to be that. So I love the competition within, all sports here. I think it helps everybody.
I agree with you. Let me ask you, your recruiting style, yours and Doug's, is probably different. Well, you're forced, I guess, because you all get a real jump start. Students know they're going to commit here a complete year before they come, and in some cases 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Where, because of the transfer portal and other issues on basketball, some of those students are signed weeks before they actually arrive, or days, right? Or the next day before they actually walk on campus. How difficult is that to keep the interest in those students over that period of time, sort of once they make that decision after you offer them, an entire year, or in some cases a year and a half? How do you deal with it?
Once I get these high school kids on campus, the product sells itself. You know, first place I take them is not to the arena, not to the indoor. I take them across to the academics, and I sell the academics first.
Not the Starbucks coffee shop.
Well,
right?
yeah, they love that
okay.
too. That's that their eyes perk
Yeah.
up when they see that. But I take them over there, and I take them to the science building. I show them that, you know, most of our professors have their PhD, the highest degree. They love the classroom ratio of faculty member to students. They like the small class sizes. I take them over to the library. The parents and the students are very enamored by the Learning Commons, all the resources they get. We speak to a lady over there, and she tells us all about it. And this product is great here. It really is. We have so many great things here that can sell. Once I get a kid on campus, it makes it easier.
That's great. That is great. And Ramsey, I want to thank you. Let me have this mic and pass it over to Ramsey. I want to thank you for bringing the coaches together today. I know they're busy. We're only a few weeks from the start of the season. We've got a game. In fact, we have a game today with one of our teams. But is there anything you want to say to the fans, or to our students, or to our staff as we wrap up this program?
Well, we really appreciate this forum in order to express, kind of behind the scenes nature of what our coaches go through and have them explain to our fans watching, the quality of student athlete that we have here and what goes into that. So we really appreciate the platform. The only thing I'd say is that our student athletes and our coaches work extremely hard. I think you can see it in this panel. The best is our standard. And we certainly hold our student athletes to that, and they rise to the occasion. And we certainly encourage you to come out and watch them perform, because they put an awful lot of work into it. And so if the community can come out and support them and see what they can do and showcase their skills, we would greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you, Dr. Stevenson, for this forum, and we'll hopefully make you proud.
Good. Well, what we always say is go Raiders. Any good thing that happens, I've got one trustee, General Don Litke, and he'll always say, go Raiders, for all the good things that are developing here. So let me say to you that are watching today, if you want to go to the college website and just look at the programming that we have, you can go to nwfsc.edu. That's nwfsc.edu. It's on the bottom of the screen there. And if you want to know more about the athletics, NWF Raiders, all one word, nwfraiders.com. And you can find out about how to join the Raider Club, what our schedule looks like, and we'd love to have you come on campus and participate in the wonderful things that are happening right here at Northwest Florida State College. On behalf of the coaches and the athletic department, thank you very much for watching today, and we'll see you real soon.
Go Raiders.
Here at Northwest Florida State College, we are moving the community forward through performers, innovators, leaders, and hometown heroes. Want to be a champion? The best is our standard.